Paulie, I come in this morning, and I said, so what did you think of Brady's debut? And he goes, I think Fox has a problem, and I don't know if it's fixable. And I said, save it. So here we go.
Okay, so I'm not going to be too critical of Tom Brady's analysis because it's his first game, and it's the most reviewed first game of a analyst of all time. He's going to be fine. He knows football. That's not going to change. He's going to be great. The problem is, and I remember Drew Brees during the roast goofing on Tom Brady, talking about his squeaky little voice and having fun with it. Tom Brady has a very high-pitched voice. And the more excited he gets, the more high-pitched it is. Oh. And it doesn't present greatly on TV, on audio-wise. And I think, if you listen to someone like Troy Aikman, even Chris Collinsworth, his voice is a bit nasally, and I'm being kind. It's a bit nasally. Tom has to have command in his voice. You have command in your voice when you're on the air, and it's different than when you talk in daily life. But he doesn't. He's got to have more gravitas and command in his voice. It just sounded airy, and I thought made for a tough listen at that point.
Well, we talked about this last week, and I said Tom Brady knows football. He has to know television. He has to understand TV. He didn't understand TV yesterday. The timing of it, and he's used to people asking him questions. People don't ask you questions necessarily when you're doing a game. You got to react to that. Now, Kevin Burkhardt may ask him a question and probably has to ask him a few more questions to get him in a conversational mode. But Tom, to me, there were pauses. His cadence wasn't smooth. There was very little synchronicity. He needed to be more of at the line of scrimmage, as if he's quarterbacking. He was back as if he was the third-string quarterback. You got to be in it up front. You got to be attacking. You got to see everything. Now, that's fixable. He's got to understand you have to be aggressive. You have to see it, say it, get out. Let your play-by-play guy take over. See it, say it, get out. React. Don't be afraid to say, what is Deshaun Watson doing? Or what's Cleveland doing? What's their game plan? Like, you have to do that. And he, for 25 years, goes to a press conference and doesn't want to tell you something. Now you have to go to a game and you have to tell us something. What is it you see that we wouldn't see? That's what I want from Tom Brady. And once again, you can simulate these games. He can practice broadcasting. It doesn't matter because you never know what's happening in a game until you're in that moment. And then what do? He's going to go back and listen to this, and he's going to realize that there were moments like that where he's sort of pausing. You got to go get it. You got to attack. Because if you don't, then there's going to be some dead air. Now you're really reliant on, Kevin Burkhardt. He's got to fill in all of that. Now, I'm not saying go Romo, but I'm saying you got to tell me something that I go, I'll be damned. I never would have seen that. That's what I want out of Tom Brady. He knows football. He has to understand TV. Yes, Eden.
It was almost like he had too much information that he couldn't share any of it in some way, And I think it's like just sort of a reminder that it's hard to do,
I think he was over-prepared. I do. But I'm not surprised at that because I think everybody thought he would be all in. I'm Tom Brady. I'm going to over-prepare. Well, sometimes you can over-prepare, and then all of a sudden your brain freezes up because you're like, I got 7 things to say, and I can't say anything. Yes, Eden.
And I think might have been a little bit too much emphasis on dumbing it down a bit, too, from Tom's standpoint, because he could probably speak to it at a very high level. But, the analysis has to be better than, like, you're thrown into tight coverage there. That's going to be a tough throw. Yeah, that's right. Or, well, Tom, what'd you think of that first half? Well, they're going to have to stop with so many negative plays. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, you did say...
You're not going to win if you keep going backwards. Correct. That is true. Yes, thank you.
Factually correct.
There was a moment where he said, man, 10 yards in the NFL is hard to get. 15 yards is really, really hard to get. And 20 yards is really, really...
It's harder than the first two? Oh, okay, got it. It's hard, it's hard.
Well, we all think we can do it.
Yeah.
We're like, just see it. But he's not programmed that. You've got to program yourself. You see it, say it. You got 15 seconds. Now get out. Next play, 20 seconds. Get out. A review, controversial play, something you don't like, something you saw during the week when you did film, like whatever it is. It's just a conversation, not, let me wait for you to tee me up. You can't do it. Tom's got to be aggressive. Yes,
Yeah, I think you guys kind of hit it on it there. I couldn't put my finger on it yesterday when I was watching the game, listening to him. But right, he didn't sound confident, which that's kind of like, there's no way that was the guy that was in the huddle with people. And I think people want the guy in the huddle, not as much I think I'm kind of doing TV right now-ish.
Yeah.
You want to hear the confidence. Where's the quarterback?
You can't be thinking about doing TV.
Yeah.
He's got to be thinking about attacking this as if he was playing the game. Get emotional. Like Colt McCoy in the Colorado-Nebraska game. I wanted more emotion out of Colt McCoy. I wanted him excited. I want him in the game, feeling like he's playing the game. And that's, the critique I would give Tom. You're at the line of scrimmage. Tell me what you see. That's, he did have, he talked about breather plays for, I think, Deshaun Watson. Or no, it was for Dak Prescott because he's, all these plays where he's trying to elude Myles Garrett. So you call some breather plays. I had not heard that before, but that's to, allow Dak to not be running around and handing the ball off. So they're called breather plays. I like that. But you got to get the specificity of like the nuance of the game. And you should have that more than anybody else. Yes, Todd.
I'm also curious, especially if he's doing a non-competitive game, how open will he be to share stories, whether it be about
that wasn't competitive yesterday.
And is it fair to expect that he'll have some interesting stories to just keep the broadcast lively if the game itself isn't anything exciting?
Well, you had that opportunity yesterday. So that wasn't a competitive game. And yes, you're going to have those moments where you're bringing up things. And he does have a good sense of humor. Privately, when you speak to him, he's got a good sense of humor. He's funny. He can make fun of himself. I just think he was all buttoned up. Like he's got that suit and tie and, he got hair and makeup and you're buttoned up. You got to go out there. You got eye black. I mean, you got to be ready to go. Tape your ankles, like anything to just get ready, get in the moment. Yeah, Paul.
And going back to Brady's voice, I'm not dinging it. It's just what it is. And I don't know if any producers during the rehearsal said, you got to bring it up like you're a play and you're projecting to the back of the room. I don't know if Troy Aikman in personal life talks like he talks on the air. He talks with a little bit more of a gravitas in his voice, and you could feel it. It feels like he's absolutely in control of the broadcast.